gods. I want to play that intro one more time for the Wrestleview thing. That is so cool. There we go. Oh my gods. Oh, my back. Oh, my neck. Oh, my head. Oh, everything. How's everyone doing? Did everyone survive WrestleMania week? All in one piece. I'm kind of there. Man, it was a doozy. Oh boy, but it was well worth it. Man, it was a fun show. Man, it was good fun times. NXT TakeOver, WrestleMania on Sunday, the Raw after WrestleMania, the SmackDown after WrestleMania? Sure, why not? Hey everybody. I'm Doug Lackey, columnist, veteran columnist for Wrestleview.com and co-host of Wrestleview Live alongside Adam Martin, where we recap all of the WWE pay-per-views immediately following them. Man, so much to talk about when it comes to NXT TakeOver, WrestleMania on Sunday, the Raw and Smackdown. Man, lots of stuff to talk about. Not to mention all the news that goes on top of that. Andrew saying, glad I took your advice and didn't put high expectations on it. Yeah, it's kind of what you want to do. But at the same time, when you don't put high expectations on something, it's easier to get surprised. And that's what we want with our pro wrestling. We want to be surprised. We want to be shocked. We want the unexpected to happen. And boy, did the unexpected happen. We had streaks ended. We had main eventers turning heel. We had a 10-year-old become a WWE champion, only to relinquish it less than 24 hours later because he has school. And a lot of results that, by God, I failed at miserably. You'll see it when you see my WWE NXT prediction record that I'm now going to have on the next screen. Man, is it bad. But apart from all of that, welcome to the show. Again, we're going to review all of that stuff. Well, not really all that stuff. Mainly the television shows, Raw and SmackDown. Also go over all the big news that's been going on for the past week, past calendar week. We're going to kind of dabble into, we got the Superstar Shake-UP is coming up next week. Next Monday and next Tuesday. I have made my 6 locks. My 6 predicting locks for the Shake-UP. And I'm starting to feel kind of antsy about 2 of them, but we'll see. We'll see how it pans out. Again, my punishment is for each one that I get wrong. I'm doing a shot of Chinese vodka on stream. I will be doing that next week. So tune in next week. Watch me get a really healthy buzz going on live while doing the show. I'm not going to space them out either. I can't space them out. I've got to do them immediately. So we're going to look at the Superstar Shake-UP from last year. We're going to look at what changes happened last year on TV and off TV. Also look at all the NXT call-ups that happened, all of the returns that happened, and see if we can really make a concrete prediction or prepare ourselves for what may be happening next week. It's kind of fun to do. I mean, fantasy booking is always fun, right? Just as long as you don't, take it so hard that something doesn't happen that you want it to. Andrew, I'm now thinking different on who might end up. Yes, I'm thinking a lot, especially 2 of my 6 locks I'm very scared about. But we're going to go over what happened last year and kind of put that in relation to what's going on this year. And also look at the WWE roster this year. Make some comparative analyses. If you play Sudoku, we're going to do some deductive logic here. And so we can try to figure out, who's going and who's staying. And who will do and what it will be on TV. That's the big thing. Okay. Also, match of the night. I'm excited for this one, because I feel like I needed something to numb the pain from last week of Ricochet, Will Ospreay from New Japan 2 years ago. I think I need to be brought back down to earth to what I enjoy. And so we are going to watch from 1993, a 5-star match from Dark Overlord Meltzer out of All Japan Pro Wrestling, it's going to be one of my favorites, Kenta Kobashi versus Stan Hansen. I've only seen maybe one Stan Hansen match ever, but I know me some Kobashi. I love me some Kobashi chops. So this one I'm really looking forward to. Of course, all I really know of Hansen, I can't remember what one match I saw, but I do know that JBL cannot stop talking about him. He wishes he was Stan Hansen. He modeled his character when he debuted in the WWE after him. So, I know kind of what to expect from Hansen, but him and Kobashi, I can't wait. Oh, by the way, beer or drink of the night is down the road from me over at No Da Brewing Company. It is Hop, Drop, and Roll. It is a 2000, I believe 2014 and 2015 winner of some kind of beer brewing contest or whatnot. But it has been called nationwide as one of the best IPAs you can find. No, it is not nationwide. But you can only find it in Charlotte from the No Da Brewing Company. It's North Davidson Street. But it is a 7.2 ABV. I am on one, and the second one just went in the hopper. So, also, when it comes to matches of the night, if you have any suggestions for matches you think that I should check out, send them to me at my Twitter, at Doug Wrestleview. Just DM me. Give me a link. Tell me what it is. Tell me why I should really watch it. But also make sure that it's not subscription-based. Okay? I can't be pirating stuff. I'm kind of learning a little bit when it comes to New Japan. The Gestapo went after me with last week's show. And so they put the kibosh on the YouTube show with Will Ospreay and Ricochet because that is one of their most popular matches. I can't fault them for that. But All Japan is defunct. Maybe it'll go through. I can only hope so. So we'll see about that. Also, there's a bar up above me, 41 to the goal of 100 of followers. Just followers. That's all we're looking for. Once we get to the goal of 100, I'll be checking out Wrestle Kingdom 12. I have yet to watch it. We're now looking at, about 4 months since it happened? There's a 5-star Dark Overlord Meltzer match on there of Jericho and Omega. I haven't seen it. I heard Will Ospreay is in a ladder match of clusterfuckery. No, I don't think it is. I think it's just a regular clusterfuckery match. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Andrew, did you get a chance to check out Muda Hakushi that is sent to? I did see the link, yes. I just need to verify to find out that it can go through on the YouTubes, because a match like that I really want to have archived on YouTube also so that everyone can check it out. I love me some Jinsei Shinzaki. I have seen his match with Undertaker. I have seen it. It's really, really cool. I really, really dug it. Really eerie and creepy at the same time. It's like zombie Hakushi is what it is. But no, it's cool. I love me some Hakushi. That was one act that the WWE, I don't want to say missed the ball, because they signed a contract with a company that they're palling around with, and it's kind of hard to do that in the early 90s. You're trying to build up your own, and then they flood you with Genichiro Tenryu. I think I pronounced that right. And Jinsei Shinzaki, and not Shofunaki, a bunch of others. And so it's kind of tough to try to build your own product when all of them are coming in. Don't care if Bret Hart was really big on Hakushi. I really liked him. I really loved the getup of a monk dressed in all white. The Japanese characters all over his body, I didn't care about that. I just dug him being a monk coming to the ring. I kind of love those eerie religious type characters like, Hakushi and Papa Shango and Mordecai. I don't care. I loved Mordecai. Stuff like that. Really, I really dig that kind of stuff. But anyway, on to the show. Get ready to laugh at my record from NXT WWE pay-per-views from this weekend. Ooh, 7-11. Ooh, God. man, have we got some work to do. Well, we got Backlash coming up, and it's a regular WWE pay-per-view. It's a B pay-per-view. Probably be able to, nail that sucker down to the ground. Shouldn't be hard to do, right? I wouldn't think so. So, on to the shows. So we go to Raw, where I first want to give you my 2 cents on the post-Mania Raw. Okay, and it seems to be a thing for the past, and when I call it a thing, for the past 5 years, 6 years, that the crowd is incredibly amped up. It's full of Cheeto munchers and do chuggers that love to cheer the heels and boo the baby faces and toss a beach ball around and just want to be noticed. They just want acknowledgement from the performers and everything. And I've always been half and half when it comes to the crowds on Post-Mania Raw, just because the Post-Mania Raw is a really important show, not just from NXT call-ups or return talent you're going to have like a Bobby Lashley, or whether just be carrying on the storylines or what was unresolved from WrestleMania, or what do you want to put a nail in on the coffin of a storyline. The Post-Mania Raw is very important, but it's clouded by the crowd going all apeshit. And so what do you have the Post-Mania Raw show be? Do you have it be the happy-go-lucky, going crazy ape bonkers, it being a big thank you to the crowd, and the crowd just do whatever the hell it wants, and you just have fun with the live crowd, TV audience be damned? Or do you have the show be a continuance of WrestleMania? Do you have it be something to where everyone that watched WrestleMania, and you hope to rope them in on your television show and make them a fan? They try to find a delicate balance between the two. And it seems the balance that they find is having the announcers always preface with, at the beginning of the show, this is always a bonkers crowd. They'd like to do whatever the heck they want, but don't mind them. They're just being weird. That's what they do. And that's what they've done now. I think they've been doing it now for the past 2-3 years. And I kind of like that. I kind of like that condescending, patronizing tone that they give the live audience without them hearing about it. Just so, oh, look at them. They're just, don't mind them. They just haven't had their medicine. They've had too much sugar today. I kind of like that. So, all right. A lot of stuff happened on Raw. A lot of call-ups. A big return in Bobby Lashley. But this also all plays into what we'll be talking about later when it comes to the Superstar Shake-UP. What we can anticipate from it. And a lot of it has to do with who is brought in the few days before it. So, starting from the beginning, Stephanie McMahon comes out acknowledging her loss, and Ronda Rousey comes out and rips her arm off again. So be it. Despicable, disgusting chants already firing up. There's a line between a fun crowd and a jerk crowd. They already crossed the line. If the chants to start the show are any indication, this could be a totally crap show. I'd be mortified if I had a child watching right now. That was from, I believe, Mike Tedesco was reviewing Raw for Wrestleview. I'll be honest, and the chants he's talking about is when Stephanie got hurt. And they're all chanting, "You deserved it," I believe, or something else along those lines. But yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of hey, goodbye. It's kind of tough. DJ Rivdog 26 is following. Thanks. Welcome. Brought it up to 42. Got to get up to 100. Then we'll be checking out Wrestle Kingdom 12. Welcome to the show. We're talking about Raw from Monday and all of the returns and really wacky, weird stuff that's happening. They had a lot of, someone missed the bleep button moments. Yeah, there were a lot of censors that were missed on this show. You're going to have a very muted crowd on the Raw replay when it gets on the network a month from now. On Hulu, I'm sure it is bleeped out and edited to all hell. Nia Jax is out in the ring. Cuts her promo that crowd's chanting, "You deserved it." Alexa Bliss and Mickie James come out. Bada, 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 bada. There's a tag match coming up. Nia Jax has a partner, and it's Ember Moon. Call-up number 1. I think, in my opinion, this is a little early for Ember Moon. But, hey, they did it. They did it. Ember Moon did a lot of the stuff in the ring. Had a lot of fun with that, and also just to introduce herself to the TV audience. Not bad. Not bad. I'm very iffy with Ember Moon being called up this early. I think it's now been a year and a half to 2 years that she's been on the NXT roster, and now she's on the main roster. I don't know. This is going to be very, very interesting. How quickly they push her up to try to go for the title. They took a while with Asuka. They didn't have her sniff Alexa Bliss any time while she was champ. So I think it's a little hard to think she'll be immediately going for anything. So we have Braun Strowman and Nicholas backstage with Kurt Angle relinquishing the tag team championships. And I'm really sad about this. First off, I'm glad I was wrong that it was either Bray Wyatt or Big Show going to be Braun Strowman's partner. This was fantastic that they did on WrestleMania. I don't care whose kid this actually is. This was just a fabulous, fabulous idea. And I was thinking that they would carry on with this where, Nicholas can't be my partner. He's gone to school now, but I still have these. And so I was kind of thinking that every show that Braun would go to, whether it be a house show or a live show, just pick a kid from the crowd, whether it be a plant or not, and have him stand at ringside and he destroys. It's fun. It's fun stuff, And by the way, Braun just has a ball with kids. He's done so much stuff when it comes to fundraising. When he does signings over at toy stores with kids. I mean, this guy, he is the new Cena. He is the new John Cena. He is going to be the face of the company. He is. No other way to get around this. It's going to take some time. It's not a hot shot deal. It's not a strap a rocket to him deal. Okay? So, but again, they relinquished the titles. And so now there is a 4-team single elimination tournament going on Raw to determine a new number 1 contender to go for the title and face Sheamus and Cesaro over at Backlash for said titles. I think they're doing that, or is that over at the Greatest Royal Rumble? I think it might be a Greatest Royal Rumble. Yeah, I think I've got that wrong. We'll double check because we'll be going over that card also over in Saudi Arabia. But again, yeah, it was a good move to relinquish the titles and free it up. But bear in mind, this is the only thing Braun Strowman did on the show. Keep that in mind when we talk about the Superstar Shake-Up from last year and the one from this year coming up. No Way Jose made his debut. It is about damn time. Problem is, I think it's a little too late because he really wasn't appearing that much on NXT for the past few weeks. Didn't even have a match at TakeOver or the TakeOver before that. Yeah, I'm not digging this move. It should have been done a long time ago. It's a day late and a dollar short. You can absolutely see him as the next Adam Rose or Brodus Clay for that matter. Who knows how long this will really last? I'm just sad. I'm sad about this. Grash saying it's at the Greatest Royal Rumble. Okay, cool. I'm sad about this. This was poor timing. Really, really poor timing. He's not fresh on anyone's mind if they had been watching NXT. He shows up on a TV show, and he's got a big, weird-looking conga line. There were some very unattractive people in that conga line, whether they were staffers or people that won a contest. I'm very sorry. I don't want to join that line. It looked like there were some people there that counted for 3 people in that line. Sorry. Yeah, I'm saying that because I am a svelte person. So, yeah. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. But again, that's what you got. That's what they decided. Gallows and Anderson versus the Revival in this elimination tournament thingy. Revival won. They will be moving on in this little tournament thing. That's another act I really feel sad for because of injuries from last year. But maybe this will push them up and get them noticed a little more. Who knows? Who knows? Shake-up. Just bear it in mind. Seth Rollins comes out. He's talking about how he won the title, and then The Miz comes out, yada yada yada. Then the Fonz Balor comes out. The Miz says that they can have a handicap match 3-on-2, and then out comes Jeff Hardy. So he's returned after I believe having shoulder injury. I think it was a torn rotator cuff of some kind, and after having a DUI. Right out here in Cabarrus County, over in Concord, not far from me, less than a half hour away. I know the road that he was on. I know what's coming up with him. But yeah, so Jeff Hardy is back, and they're going to have a big old 6-man tag to end the show, which is a nice little fun match to end on. You know, nice little happy stuff. Mandy Rose with Absolution in tow versus Sasha Banks, and Bayley comes out behind her to kind of help her out, but she whiffs and hits Sasha. Sasha gets kneed in the face. She loses. More Sasha Bayley drama. I thought this would have been resolved a long time ago. Now this is getting really stupid. This needs to end now. Really quickly. For the love of God, help us. Help us right now. But after that, Paige gets on the mic. And finally, we get some acknowledgement about her neck injury from December. We finally get something regarding this because the WWE's been silent. There's been nothing regarding it. But she acknowledges it that due to her neck injuries, she can no longer perform as an in-ring competitor, and this is her in-ring retirement. But if anything, Daniel Bryan has inspired her that who knows what may happen. Let's see, Tedesco saying on there, we all knew it was coming, but that was a stunning announcement from Paige on her retirement. Paige gave a really nice and emotional speech about her love of the business. Powerful stuff. My heart goes out to her. She's still so young. Nice. It all came full circle in NOLA. Yeah, I totally get how she's passionate about business and everything, but she made some questionable decisions in her life. They're decisions that she's going to have to live with. And her life in the ring could have been a lot different. Everything could have been so much more different if she had been a little more mature, a little more responsible. Yes, you can call this scolding if you want to, but the stinger is horrible. Okay, the injury she got is horrible, but she still could have had a lot more. Still could have done a lot more. Yeah, she gave props to Edge. Yes, gave props to Edge because going through the same kind of injury that he did. Weird, it was right after the Sasha match because it was the match that with Sasha ended up putting her out. Yeah, kinda. There's one thing that we don't, and you bring up Edge when in regards to injuries and stuff, and this is kind of weird. Do you remember the debut match of Edge? Because I do. His debut match, I believe, was in 97 or 98. I know it was right when I started college. And it was on an episode of Sunday Night Heat before a pay-per-view. I can't remember which pay-per-view. But it was against one of the members of the Los Boricuas. You know, Savio Vega's stable. Where, you know, it was very stable heavy back then. You had the Los Boricuas, the Disciples of the Apocalypse. You had the Nation of Domination. You had all those factions. But it was Edge versus a member of Los Boricuas. Edge did a dive through the middle rope to catch Boricua out on the floor. Boricua ducked his head down, sunk in his neck, put him down on the ground. He was paralyzed. He could not move. Couldn't get up. And that's how the match ended. Edge won via countout. And the Edge did not appear on television for about another 2 months something around those lines. I bring that up because freak accidents happen. Freak accidents happen. However, sometimes a person who causes the freak accident and it is their fault, there are consequences of some kind. For Edge, it was being off TV for a couple of months. There's been nothing for Sasha, and it's only because Sasha's and Paige's accident did not happen on television. And I guess that's what kind of bites me a little bit, is that there's no consequence of some kind. Sasha is still on TV. She's still a prominent figure. Hell, she lasted the longest at the Royal Rumble. She was one of the final participants in the Elimination Chamber match. I don't get it. I don't understand why she gets a free ride, unless it is genuinely something that is actually Paige's fault. But we'll never know. We'll really never know, and we can't hold it against anybody for this, unless the Bayley Sasha feud is punishment. That's punishment for us right now. The Sasha Bayley feud right now is punishment for us because it hasn't ended yet. What about Seth Rollins in comparison? Yeah. You can kind of put that up there too. Put Finn Balor on the shelf for over a year. You know, sure. You can definitely put him in there. You can put Mr. Kennedy in there if you want to. Shoot, put Samoa Joe in there if you want to. There's tons of other examples that you can give where there are repercussions of some kind. But it seems that the WWE has gotten away from repercussions and consequences when it comes to injuries. So I think we are far gone from the behind the scenes, boys in the back drama unfolding on TV, and we try to interpret it. Those times are gone now. Everything is now much more out in the open, as long as the WWE acknowledges it. Yeah, Kennedy got his, but you got to be transparent when it comes to your injuries. Period. You have to be. The crowd begins to wonder. Audience begins to question. Okay? So, that's my piece. Elias giving the crowd in New Orleans another concert, but then Bobby Lashley comes out. Now, Bobby Lashley. For one, the man's noggin looks like a milk dud to me. He looks like his noggin looks like a milk dud to me. I don't know what's so great about him. He wasn't all that great in the WWE. I sure as hell did not watch him in that other organization. And now here he is, and I don't know if he's any better or any worse. After hearing some of the little interviews that he gave backstage post-Raw, maybe he's a little more comfortable on the mic. I don't know, but it's just his voice doesn't match what his body looks like. So we'll just have to play it very slowly with him and see how it looks. Everyone already, when Lashley reappeared, immediately thinking him and Lesnar. Stop it. No. Not right now. No, don't you think that right now. No. I have bigger ideas for Lesnar. Well, I don't want to talk about that. Sometime I'm going to debut my whiteboard. Because the WWE has a whiteboard in their office that basically has already inked out WrestleMania for 2019. And I want to kind of do the same with this show because, let's face it, we all love fantasy booking, right? As long as we're having fun doing it, you know. Kurt Angle had he's over in his office, and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn show up and saying they're looking for jobs. And Angle asks if they came here looking for one. Owens and Zayn say they are. Angle asks if they got fired for attacking the GM and commissioner. Zayn says there was a personal vendetta against them. They realize they need to be team players. Well, Angle says his tag division is full and that TNA is hiring. That causes the entire arena to erupt. Some people on Twitters going, and I wondered, were people were producers and Vince McMahon and others going, oh. Me? No, this was not a Freudian slip. This was written in. Okay? WWE has already broken the fifth wall. All right? AJ Styles, EC3, Bobby Lashley, countless others that have come in from TNA. They're not going to this is the first time the company's ever been mentioned on WWE television. Rightly so. Now to be the butt of a joke. That's how you do it. Tedesco, interesting that Kurt Angle took a shot at TNA. Jeff Jarrett couldn't mention them in his Hall of Fame speech, but they can drop the name in a backstage vignette. Yes. Yes, they can. Especially when you paint them in a negative light. You can absolutely do it. I liked it. I had fun. Heath Slater and Rhino bitch about how they are not in this tag team elimination thingy and say that they'll face anyone in the back, and out comes the Authors of Pain. I called this one. Out come the Authors of Pain with Paul Ellering. It's a squash, to say the least, and as they were walking to the back, Authors of Pain cast aside Paul Ellering. Just tell him to kind of stay put, and they'll walk up the ramp themselves. Yeah. Later on in the show, Authors of Pain have an interview. Ellering, actually, I think it was after Raw that Ellering pops up, says, I create the strategy. AOP goes, nah, that was in NXT. We got it from here. So it's just going to be AOP by themselves. Whether they cut promos or not, I don't care. I just want them destroying. I love AOP. I love me some Destructo show. So there you go. Roman Reigns addressing his WrestleMania loss, but then out comes a returning Samoa Joe, who cuts a very fine promo, chastising Roman Reigns about how he just cannot get the job done with Brock Lesnar because every time he loses or fails, Lesnar gets richer. So Samoa Joe says, so after he has his ass whipped in the steel cage over in Saudi Arabia, Samoa Joe will be waiting at Backlash, waiting to put you to sleep. And, yeah, fun stuff. I'm kind of digging this deal they're going to be giving Roman Reigns now, where, people are going to be calling him out on his crap. You're not a big dog. This ain't your yard. Who are you trying to kid here? I kind of like this. Keep him a face, but keep him kind of delusional. That sounds kind of fun. And then we have Titus Worldwide go against Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt in the Tag Team Elimination thingy. Wyatt and Hardy win. They're moving on to go against the Revival. See who wins. Winner gets a Raw contract. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. This match was a nice little commercial breaky match. Both of them could not answer a 10 count to get up. Thusly, no one won their match. So what's going to happen? What happened? They aren't on a show. They're not affiliated with anyone. What you gonna do? Who knows? It's wonderful. I really love the gif of Matt Hardy getting gift for King Maxwell. I think it was a xylophone. This xylophone is exquisite. Gracias. I love that. I don't know why. I always chuckle when I see that gif. And then finally, main event, 6-man tag. Fun for the entire crowd. Yeah, the good guys win. So there you go. There's Raw. Lots of stuff happening on Raw. Lots of stuff. We will cover how that factors into the Superstar Shake-UP in a little bit. On to the Blue Show. Oh, hey, look at that. Look at that $sign vagina sling. It has got a belt. Yeah, that happened. Shane McMahon is out to start the show. Who'd have thunk it? He does it every week. To say Daniel Bryan is now a full-time performer, and he has been relieved of his general managerial duties. And so out comes Paige as new SmackDown general manager. No-brainer move. And then she books Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the main event tonight. Sounds grand, because we watched that match not but maybe a handful of weeks ago. It was in an armory in New Albany, Indiana. That was fun. Yeah, I don't know if we can watch it again, but it was fun to watch. It wasn't at all like the match we saw on TV, where Daniel Bryan called everyone baboons. But hey, to each their own, right? So that's booked. Also, you're going to have the Usos versus the New Day here for who is going to be facing the Cheese Brothers, the Bludgeon Brothers, for the Blue Tag Team Championships. Usos win. Bludgeon Brothers come out and point their hammers at the Usos. So there you go. Naomi versus Natalya, where this only stemmed because Natalya was saying Naomi shouldn't have won the thing. Naomi winning the thing, where she won the giant uterus trophy. So there you go. Yeah, that was a match. Charlotte Flair is out in the ring to say she has the respects for Asuka and how they honor her, and she is the queen of. But out come Peyton Royce and Billie Kay from NXT. Here they come, and it's a nice little breath of fresh air. These two, absolutely, I can agree with the call-up. Ember Moon, not so much. These two, absolutely. They come out, talk some junk, beat the hell out of Charlotte. Out comes Carmella, and there you go. She's the new women's champ. Couldn't have. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Oh, Woods, where are you? Hammer Brothers references your thing. Yep. They're Hammer Brothers. Yes, they are. Triple threat, Rusev, Bobby Roode, and Randy Orton. Whoever wins this triple threat is getting the number one contendership for Ginger's United States belt. My gosh, I know everyone was, man, the chants for Rusev Day were large. Oh, they were big. But no, Randy Orton won. So we get Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton again. This will be the fourth time, I believe, these two are going against each other for a belt of some kind. Randy Orton doing Randy Orton things because Randy Orton is the only one who can do Randy Orton things. If there's anyone else trying to do Randy Orton things, they aren't Randy Orton things because Randy Orton can only do Randy Orton things. What was the old name you used to give Bobby Roode when recapping TNA? He used to be called Robert Roode, but then he became Bobby Roode. And the reason I did that, I don't know why, I started rattling off teen idols. Bobby, Hannah Montana, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, Rude, something like that. I don't know why. I was really drunk when I would do the TNA recaps. We'll just put it that way. Carmella backstage, she praises herself. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles, main event. Yay, this is a fantasy match. This sounds so fantastic. Shinsuke Nakamura comes out and interrupts the whole thing. By the way, the interview by Nakamura backstage during the show was fantastic. I'll just have you look it up yourself. It was fantastic. I really wish we had it here on the recap, but no, we can't do that. Nope. Very solid episode of SmackDown, to say the least. Both shows were very, very solid. You had a lot of call-ups. You had some returns. You had a lot to have some fun with. So yeah, blue and red shows doing pretty good. Take a sips of the hops and the drops. Sorry, me no speak English. Love for him to pull that off some more. That's just fantastic. On to the news. Lots of news stuff to talk about. First off, it's reported on the 5th, the passing of luscious Johnny Valiant. He was hit by a truck while crossing the road. Passed away last Wednesday. Man, I am going to see if I can look up some Johnny Valiant matches soon. I only hope that does not, that falls under the guidelines with the YouTubes. That there isn't some kind of Gestapo after me if I do that. Because I sure as hell know that none of his matches are on Dark Overlord Meltzer's list, but I don't care. I'm going to find him. But yeah, that's something to think about. Yeah, I'll find some matches. Maybe if I can find one against a performer that I'm familiar with, that'll be good. But yeah, I'll see if I can. I'll find some Johnny Valiant matches, tag matches, with Jimmy. Sure, sure. I just hope that they're available and I don't get blocked out because I do it. Al Snow has purchased Ohio Valley Wrestling from Danny Davis, who'll be retiring. Yeah, this is interesting. Used to be the main developmental territory for the WWE from 99 to 08. John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, Brock Lesnar. They all came from OVW. Still runs weekly television from the Davis Arena in Louisville. That is pronounced Louisville, not Louisville. Seriously, it's Louisville. Okay, no, that is how it's pronounced. That's how the locals pronounce it. Don't scold them. That is how they pronounce it. That's where they live. Louisville. Okay. Following the purchase of the company, Danny Davis will be retiring from the business, and he's moving home to Florida. Good for him. Dangerous Danny Davis, man, that's a name I gotta look up too. I won't be able to get any of his matches. I know that. Look at this Joker. Alberto El Patron Alberto Del Rio. I do cocaine. Impact Wrestling has officially parted ways with this Joker after he no-showed their live streaming Twitch show Friday. Dumbass. What is up with this guy? Seriously, what is up with this guy? I mean, what is his deal? Okay. Something happened, and it can't be the extracurricular activity. Something happened with this guy in his first run with the WWE to make him this way. Something happened. It has to have been something personal. Something very personal. Who knows? This is something I would love to do some digging into, because when he debuted in the WWE, God, it was such a fabulous character. His first feud with Rey Mysterio, making fun of him, calling him a chihuahua, and kissing a chihuahua on TV, and oh God, it was fantastic. He had his own ring announcer with Ricardo Rodriguez, and holy hell, what an act. It was straight up gold. You could not go wrong with this. But then they turned him into a badass. They had him turn on his turn on his ring announcer. Didn't come out with cars anymore. Yeah, it was, I don't know. I mean, it's sad. It's sad, really, what this guy could have come up with and could have become. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right. He claimed that WWE personnel. Well, I know why he left. Claimed that WWE personnel said something derogatory to him, and he beat them up, and so he was canned immediately. But as if derogatory words and slang are never used in professional wrestling. It happens all the time. Seriously. Something happened to where this guy was so full of himself. And that's what it seems to be. But I think that's got to be something more, though, that he's so full of himself that something happened outside of the WWE to cause him to be that way. It had something. And I'm not trying to cause additional drama on top of the drama that we can just see unfolding. Okay? This is not a sources tell me. No, it's something happened. Something happened. I mean, if he didn't like derogatory slang and, hurtful words being said towards him, why in the hell was he agreeing to all the weird, stupid shit he was doing on WWE television? If he had a problem with someone saying something bad to him backstage, he certainly should have had a problem with all of the stereotypes that he was confirming on live national TV. Okay? I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. So, good riddance to him. I don't care where the hell he goes. People keep saying WWE is actually looking into them and wanting to bring them back. No, stop it. Let's see, Andrew. Yeah, watched the shoot interview. Interesting. Not much out of it. I don't watch shoot interviews. I really don't. I know that they are just to rope people in. Workers working. They always work. WWE breaking records for WrestleMania 34. Yep, you figured they would be talking about this, pretty much. WWE's annual pop culture extravaganza grossed $14.1 million, surpassing the venue's previous record of $10.9 million from WrestleMania 30 in 2014. A sold-out crowd of 78,133 from all 50 states and 67 countries. Yes, it broke records. But again, WWE is going downhill. They aren't making money. And, the ratings are down. And all of this is happening because Roman Reigns is on the... yes. They're still making money, and they will always make money. By the way, look at this kid making the money. By the way, the identity of Nicholas, the tag team champ of Braun Strowman's choosing, is the son of John Cone, who was actually refereeing that match. Sounds pretty reasonable to me, which again was just a fabulous idea. Sometime this weekend, I'm going to be stopping by my father's house and bringing my Roku. I'm going to watch WrestleMania with him, but I told him this was the match that you'll just absolutely love. All you need to know is Braun Strowman is a big guy who beats the crap out of everybody. You'll love it. So yeah. And this was one of those matches that, if you have friends that are watching WrestleMania with you that don't watch WWE TV, that's a match they can love. That's a match that'll latch them onto the WWE and pro wrestling. WWE Network sees an increase in overall subscribers following WrestleMania 34 on Sunday. Total paid subscribers reached 1.81 mil. That is up 9% from last year's WrestleMania, but that is sure to go down after the end of the month. Pretty much. Braun's dad was sitting behind JoJo. Yes, he was. You can't miss that guy. And he's a big guy, too. Okay. Thing is, he's got the beard and the hair almost like Strowman, except it's platinum white. Man, there's going to be a time to where his dad is going to be cutting some promos soon. It would not shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me at all. Oh, hey, look at that. Just because Brock Lesnar signed up a new contract doesn't mean that Paul Heyman can't do the same thing. Paul Heyman signed a new deal with the WWE per multiple reports. Let's see. He's said to have signed, per a lot of sources. Don't have any specific sources on that. And give a brief history on him. Heyman has recently brought up on interviews that he was pursuing creation of a couple of TV projects. I just don't see him doing that kind of stuff. It's really funny to talk about. But, I wouldn't take that too seriously. Heyman's always going to be in the WWE, even if Bork is not there with him. Let's have some fun. Let's have some fun with a video from when Raw went off the air involving the beach balls. Normally, I'm not a fan. I hate the beach ball idea. I really hate it. Just because I'm trying to watch the match, but everyone is distracted by their own fun. But this is good that they're doing that, with Seth Rollins acknowledging the beach balls at the end of the show. So it's off TV. Oh, hell yeah. Go nuts. Go bonkers.
Yo, guys, I really just got one question. Are you ready? Who's got a beach ball out there?
Some people booing.
No. Hey, it's your party now, guys. I'm serious. Now's your time.
Yeah, if you've got a beach ball, now's your time. Send it over.
Bring out another baseball. No, for the last few years, we've been watching you guys have all the... We got another one. We've been watching you guys have all the fun. We want in on the fun too, boys. Please follow around. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
That's pretty cool. You gotta admit, that's pretty fun. And that's what you're supposed to do. It's when the TV cameras go off, you have fun with the live crowd. Okay? I don't know how many they had going on there. That looks pretty fun. So yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, okay, top rope. There you go. That's about as much as you get right there. Yeah, can you blame them? That's pretty cool. All right, let's talk about this Greatest Royal Rumble card thing, because it's really evolving into something really big and outlandish. Yeah. Yep, that's right. What you're seeing right there is true. It's going to be The Undertaker versus Rusev in a casket match. Now, I've got a big smile on my face because, man, when Rusev debuted, he had my heart just right here. God, I loved him. The greatest foreigner heel to come out in a long time. Saudi Prince Money sounds like? Absolutely it is. If you told me 4 years ago, that Rusev was going to be in a casket match with The Undertaker, I would have been livid. I would have been bouncing off the walls. But now, you know he's going to lose. Oh, who cares? It's going to be fun. It's not going to last long either. It's only going to be like a handful of minutes. And what I love also is the marquee internet rumor thing is that, oh, well, this is what Rusev is getting because he wanted out of his contract. But then they put him in WrestleMania, and now they're putting him in this for punishment. This is not punishment. This is not a doghouse move. You've got a match with The Undertaker. No. Absolutely not. He's making a boatload in merchandise sales right now. He's having so much fun. Why would he complain about where he is right now? Why? It makes no sense. Makes absolutely no sense. There have been more names added to the Rumble match itself. Kurt Angle and Chris Jericho have been added to it. Yeah. Why not? Might as well. I mean, again, Saudi Prince money. They get all the stops. I'm curious how much they're getting from this. You're also getting an Intercontinental Championship match. It's going to be a ladder match between Seth, The Miz, Finn Balor, and Samoa Joe. Not any talk about that, huh? There's also going to be the Raw tag titles up for grabs. The Bar versus Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt, or the Revival, whichever one wins. There's also going to be the SmackDown tag titles are going to be up for grabs between the Cheese Brothers and the Usos. Of course, there aren't going to be any females on the card. It's Saudi Arabia. Yeah, can't do that. And then you got your casket match. So they still have yet to say what the WWE title match is going to be, the U.S. title match, or the Cruiserweight title match. Those are the three they have yet to announce. And that's going to be really interesting to wait for. Probably a lot of rematches, you know. But it's all about getting the star power out there is what it is. That's why Chris Jericho is going to be in the Rumble. That's why The Undertaker is having a casket match for no reason whatsoever. It's why Triple H and John Cena are having a match for no reason whatsoever. Saudi Prince money. It must be a hefty chunk of change to be doing this. That's the only thing that I can gather from it. Dolph Ziggler had a very interesting interview. Believe it was today. He was in New Orleans and had a chat here. Very, very interesting chat. And I think that Adam and I touched on it a couple of months ago. Talked about rumors that he re-signed with the WWE for $1.5 million. He said, "My father called me to congratulate me on my deal that I had re-signed, and I said, 'What are you talking about?' It's fun to have internet rumors out there, but even if and when I do re-sign, I won't be like, 'Hey, everybody, here's the details of the contract.' There's a short amount of time left on this contract. We're negotiating, and we'll see what happens." No details are ever going to be revealed about how much money someone makes on their contract unless Forbes does the digging, unless it's shown in the financials. Okay? Dolph Ziggler about not being happy with his last U.S. title run. "I'm going to guess," and this is his quote, "I'm going to guess that some plans that were made originally didn't happen. I asked to go away for a while just to let them forget that I wasn't doing anything of too much importance. I asked for some time off. I got kicked in the head by Jack Swagger and got a concussion when I was the champ, and I was out for 2 weeks, and that's basically all the time off I've had. Even my stand-up dates are booked around when I'm not working here. So if I'm never gone, no one can hope for me to come back. One other time I was gone for 5 weeks to film a movie, and that was it. I never went away, I never had a surgery, and I don't want to, but you can't be missed if you're never gone and you're always here. So I asked to go away for 6 months or a year and was told no, but maybe a couple of months. Out of nowhere in this title match, I win. It was really fun. It was really crazy. Corbin and Roode are really fun to wrestle. I won it, and I went, all right, what am I going to do now? And I figured I would have a moment and have everyone talking about me one way or another, so I threw down the title and walked out. I thought it was great, and then 3 TVs later, I was back." I totally get it that he is burnt out. I totally get that he's completely burnt out, that he wants time off. But he's going about it the wrong way. He's basically saying he wants time off so that people will remember him, so that when he returns from his time off, it'll be something magical. It'll be something memorable. You're not Chris Jericho, Dolph. You're not there yet. And that's sad. And it's not because of all the titles you've won. The reason you're not Jericho yet is because no one will remember you. You have no character. You have nothing to really stand out about. All that you have are just all these belts and saying that you steal the show. How are you going to do that with Daniel Bryan back? With any other talent that's there? Your argument is worse than Roman Reigns. Let's go ahead and put it that way. Your argument is worse than Roman's. So there is no reason for you to take time off just so that everyone will remember you and you get a loud pop when you come back and you'll be important again. If you want time off, you want time off. There's nothing wrong. Yeah, Frank and their Dolph is just coasting at this point. He knows it. They know it. They want to light a volcano under his ass, and he's just acting too comfortable for his own good. Yeah. And you know what? So be it. Just keep him off TV. That's all you got to do. Just keep him off TV. Yeah. Write out his contract. You know? That's all you got to do. Don't waste your time. I mean, seriously, you're just wasting your time and everyone else's energy. You're better off just keeping him off TV right now. And if you're not going to do that, have him job like mad. How about that? You got your Superstar Shake-UP coming up? Have him do the job. Just bury him. And this is now legitimate burial. Okay? He's done nothing. He's bitching about it. Just do it. Okay? You're not CM Punk, Dolph. You're not Chris Jericho. You're none of them. You've done nothing. And you've had every opportunity to do something. Talks about returning at the Royal Rumble and only being eliminated within 90 seconds. He said, yeah, I only lasted about 90 seconds, and that was so disappointing to me for everything I had done in the last couple of weeks and months. Worker's always working. That's what he's doing. How different his career might have been if NXT was around when he debuted. I don't really need to read this quote because it would have been a lot different. And we all know it would have been different. We all know it would have been different if he was going through the developmental system with Triple H in there and Matt Bloom. You know, everyone else. I'd name the names that are there. It would have been a lot different. But the problem is that's not an excuse. There is no excuse for what you've had. It's not about what you could have been. Think about this, okay? Everything, all the stuff you've had strewn out before you, all the storylines that you've had, all the foci you've had, and nothing to show for it. Not taking advantage of it. I don't know which one is worse, him or Ryback right now, when it came to the amount of opportunities they had to just lampoon and take advantage and build something for yourself. Nope. Nothing. He had pom-poms and that was good. Yeah, I remember shit too. But that's not his fault either. And it doesn't matter what he was. What matters is what he got. Okay? What he got. Jerry Lawler revealed that he suffered a stroke 2 weeks before WrestleMania on his latest podcast. Now Jerry Lawler's got a podcast. All of these jokers have a podcast when they would chastise how people like me would have a podcast. Jerry Lawler revealed he suffered a stroke on March the 21st, just 2 weeks before WrestleMania weekend. He said he experienced symptoms of a stroke and just before travel to the WonderCon event in Anaheim, noting that one side of his face became paralyzed and he began slurring his words. He immediately went to the hospital, had trouble communicating, discovered that he had a blood pressure of 296 over 145. Noted he was able to speak again 3 days after suffering the stroke and started feeling much better. Gonna be a little personal here. I lost 3 of my 4 grandparents to strokes. It runs in my family. And I do a lot with my diet and a lot with exercise up here to prevent that from happening. I take strokes very, very seriously. It is very, very scary. I've seen one of my grandparents have one. It's very, very scary. So yeah, I take this very, very, yeah, this one kind of hits close to home. So Jerry, take it easy. Could you? Just lay off a little bit. Just take it easy. Okay. I don't think you're really hurting for cash right now. Just stay home. Stay home. Invite some friends over to do your podcast. Enjoy yourself a little bit. You don't have to be working all the time. And if the WWE is making you work or other people are making you work, just tell them to shove off. Take it easy. Maybe your face not moving will help you with that decision. As blunt of a comment as that can be. That's just me. All right, so there you go. That was the news. Lots of stuff there. And yes, Rusev was doing a live stream, and Ryback popped up, accused him of using steroids, and then Rusev blocked him. Speaking of Ryback, that dumbass. Yeah. You want about someone with some missed opportunities, that's one right there. Let's talk about injuries, because so many people came back from injury. So, see, I made up my own little table. How you like that? This is now the updated injury list for the main roster of the WWE. We got Big Cass with a torn ACL. He's expected to return after WrestleMania. Still waiting for him. Dean Ambrose with torn triceps out until September of this year. That's my guess. He's going to be coming back around September. Jason Jordan with neck injury. Don't know what's going on with him. Brian Kendrick, facial fractures. He's supposed to be coming back very, very soon. He might have come back on 205 Live. I'm not sure. Neville, contract dispute. I figured to put this one up here because he's still on the roster page. He's still on the WWE roster page. They haven't acknowledged his removal. So something's going on with him. And I'm very curious about this one. Noam Dar, knee injury on December the 14th. He's due to come back in May. Alicia Fox with a broken tailbone. She's coming back around SummerSlam time. Maurice, maternity leave. Epico Cologne with shoulder surgery. We have no timetable about Epico. I know that's weird that I'm bringing this up, but him and Primo are a very reliable tag team, and always have been. Epico and Primo, whether they be shining stars or whatever the heck you want to call them, they really need to go to NXT. I think they would just be absolutely fabulous in NXT. Because right now, WWE television has nothing for them with the 3 different rebrandings that they've had. NXT is made for them. Just so made for them. Samir Singh, torn ACL. He'll be back around Survivor Series time. Tamina with a torn rotator cuff will be back around SummerSlam time. Maria Kanellis with the baby. When will she be back? Bobby Fish, torn ACL and MCL. He is out until after SummerSlam. And then finally, Drew McIntyre with a torn bicep. He is due to come back around SummerSlam as well. And it's best to base all of these return dates around pay-per-views, just so you can anticipate when their return will be. And, if you want to be shocked, don't pay attention to this segment. But if you kind of want to be ahead of the game, that's what you do. And this is why, before I joined Wrestleview.com, this is what I paid attention to the most, were injuries and contract disputes. Only because that fills you in on what's going to be happening storyline-wise and what you can't anticipate. You can be a smart booker. Dean would probably be Hell in the Cell. Maybe. That's a fair assumption. All right. So there's everyone that's hurt. Speaking of hurt, my glass is hurt. But hey, look at that. I got a can right here. So I'm going to injure the can. I'm going to fill up the can because we have got to talk about the Superstar Shake-UP. And I really wanted to preface, and man, is that a pour. That's how you pour a beer, kids. You hold it diagonally, and then you go up. That's how you do it, especially from cans. You want to use cans for it, not bottles. So a big cast screams a Shake-Up candidate. Absolutely. He is one of my shoo-ins. He's one of my locks when it comes to the Shake-Up. But let's go ahead and bring up the Shake-Up. And I'm only really bringing up the roster page just so we can really have an indication. Aiden has a bald head now. I'm breaking out my notebook and papers and stuff. If any of you know my podcasting history with WrestleView.com, I used to have a little ditty called Wrestleview Reality from Ringside Radio. 3R is what I called it. And it was a podcast that I ran for a good 2 years, where my podcast was solely based on opinions and projections, solely based on quantitative analysis, data, hard data, match length, pay-per-view buy rate, spot on the cards, stuff like that, TV ratings, you name it. Whatever had a number next to it, I used it to base an opinion on. And a lot of my fantasy booking is based on this quantitative analysis. So, this is not as much really quantitative analysis, but it's just observation. It's having memory. It's doing exercises so you don't get a stroke. All right, so I'm looking on my sheet here. Roster changes in 2017. Last year, around the WrestleMania times. I want to bring you back to last year and the Superstar Shake-Up from last year. All right? Yeah, 3R was WrestleView's dank meme spawning pool. Yeah, it kind of was. So I'm going to scroll through the list here, and I'm going to kind of point out to you names you should consider here. Keep an eye out whoever lost clean yesterday on SmackDown and who loses in Raw this coming week. That booking embedded town. Yeah. Kinda. But I'm going to point out the people here that have switched and things. And actually, it looks like I may need to refresh this. Yeah, let's just refresh that real quick. This will only take a minute. There we go. Okay, so first off, Apollo. He went from SmackDown to Raw, not on television. You had Bring it over here. Big E alongside the rest of New Day on TV going from Raw to SmackDown. You had... Bringing them up here, and I got to have my sheet here so that I can do this here. Let's see. You got Bray Wyatt going from Raw, SmackDown to Raw. And that was done on TV. Yep, that was done on TV. You've got... Charlotte Flair going from Raw to SmackDown. That was done on air. You have Kurt Hawkins was taken from SmackDown to Raw. That was not done on TV. Alexa did go from SmackDown to Raw. That was on TV. Actually, I'm just going to go from my list here. This will be a lot better instead of scrolling through there because I'll probably miss some people. Let's just go down the list from people who went from Raw to SmackDown. These were the people who did it on TV going from Raw to SmackDown. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Charlotte, The New Day. Those who went from Raw to SmackDown not on television to proclaim that they were switching. Jinder Mahal, Shining Stars, Tamina, Sin Cara, Rusev, and Lana. Those were all the talents that switched over that were not on TV. But right there, everyone who went from Raw to SmackDown. Those who went from SmackDown to Raw, the ones that were on TV, Miz and Maurice, Dean Ambrose, Bray Wyatt, Slater and Rhino, and Alexa. Those who were not on TV that did switch were Apollo, Kurt Hawkins, Kalisto, and Mickie James. The big thing I want to mention here is the number of people that switched. Number of acts, I think is the best way to put it. Because tag teams I consider an act. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4. You had 8 from SmackDown going to Raw. 9 from Raw to SmackDown. More people from Raw going to SmackDown, even though SmackDown is a show that's an hour less. Almost sounds like a death sentence, doesn't it? But the weird thing is that there are only 2 acts on here that... Actually, there's only 1 act on here that really didn't see a lot of TV play, and that's the Shining Stars. Sin Cara had a program against Baron Corbin. Tamina had a program alongside Lana where she was going to be toughened up and have the charisma of Lana next to her. There you go. Wasn't last year they did Heath Slater going undrafted? Yeah, they kind of did. They kind of had it. Yeah, it was 2 years ago where they did the draft and he wasn't drafted. It was 2 years ago. He was undrafted and then he kept and then that's when the whole he's got kids started. So yeah. So there's the Superstar Shake-Up from 2017. 9 from Raw to SmackDown, 8 from SmackDown to Raw. Half of them essentially doing it on TV. But the other thing to bring attention to are the call-ups. And the call-ups I can just bring up from here. Now, these are call-ups that happened throughout the calendar year. Didn't necessarily happen on the Raw following WrestleMania or the SmackDown following WrestleMania. But these are people that were called up from NXT and put on the shows. And actually, I'll probably just go and name them here. You got on Raw, The Revival and Elias and Asuka. All of them mainly on TV. Then you had Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose coming in to do Absolution. On the SmackDown side, Ty Dillinger, Shinsuke Nakamura debuting on TV. And then you had the Riot Squad. Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Sarah Morgan, the other 2 girls. Those 3 coming into SmackDown. You also had, during that time, returns. You had the Hardy Boys returning at WrestleMania. You had Shelton Benjamin later on in the year returning to SmackDown. You also had the debut of Mike Kanellis and Maria. But they're having a bed and they're having some other personal issues going on right now. So, apart from shifting 8 to 9 acts, that's being 10 to 12 performers from one show to another, you are also adding another 5 to 8 performers to each show. Will we really see something this magnificent throughout the year, this year, when it comes to a shake-up and call-ups and returns? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of shifting around. That's a lot of adding and not a lot of subtracting. Can they do it? Well, let's go ahead and think about that. Call-ups so far. Man, were there a lot. You had AOP, Ember Moon, No Way Jose on Raw, and then you had Bobby Lashley making his return. SmackDown, you had Billie Kay and Peyton Royce joining the fold. So that's already 5 new talents and 1 returning with 6. So you got 6 talents right there. Will they have the same amount? I'm not sure. I really don't want to base this year's shakeup on last year's shakeup. Grash, we sort of need to go over releases to make full sense of this. Well, not a whole lot of releases to speak of. Nothing of any really major consequence. Not that I can really think of. I didn't really go that far into it just because my brain was hurting. My brain was really hurting. But what I want to do, though, is look at the chemical makeup of the roster right now with Raw and SmackDown. And I want to use just this week's shows of Raw and SmackDown and use those as a basis for who we can anticipate to make the jump. I've already made my locks, okay, and I'll repeat those locks later on. But when you look at the Raw roster, there are only 3 performers that I saw that appeared on Raw, that appeared on television, that were kind of part of a no-name program, or they really have nothing going on right now, but they appeared on TV. Those people are, going to bring them up right now. I'm going to go scroll down the list here. They're going to pop up. There's only 3 people. 2 acts, 3 people. A tag team and 1 person in particular. So I am talking about Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. That's who I'm talking about. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows lost in the little tag team elimination thingy to the Revival and are right now in the air. They're on TV regularly. You could see them going to SmackDown. Oh, they'd be alongside AJ Styles. Okay, sure, whatever. If that's the reasoning that you want for them to go to SmackDown, so be it. I just see it as it's another tag team to go in there because right now it's just Cheese Brothers, Usos, New Day. So you got to shake up tag teams a little bit over there. Oh yeah, and American Alpha 2.0. Yeah. But there's one guy on Raw right now who was on TV, doesn't have a program going on right now. And he's one that I was very iffy on, and a lot of people have been thinking about also. I can definitely see him going to SmackDown now. Absolutely. Just because, sure, there's nothing going on with him when it comes to going for the Universal title, and that's okay. There could be a lot of stuff going on with him in the WWE title. There could be a lot of stuff going on with him with the US title. Hell, do the same thing with the tag titles over there with him. There is so much you can do with Braun Strowman. So much. Sky is the limit with this guy. And to put him on SmackDown, I think would be great. He could be the face of that show. But it's AJ Styles too, so to see AJ Styles pinball off of this guy, Shinsuke Nakamura pinball off of this guy, Daniel Bryan pinball off of this guy. Oh, it sounds so grand. Sounds so grand. So those are the 3 to think about with Raw going to SmackDown. Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and this guy. Okay? Look on the SmackDown side. Right now, over on SmackDown, I want to say a lot of people that appeared on TV, they kind of few and far in between when it comes to they appeared on TV but have nothing going on. There were actually a lot of others I'll mention from Raw, but I'm not so sure would be switching, and that would be Apollo and Titus O'Neil and Dana Brooke. Also, Heath Slater and Rhino. They were on Raw last night. They've got nothing going on right now, but I don't see them as keeping an eye on, okay? It's anything of real consequence, okay? It's not like Kurt Hawkins, okay? Come on. People who are on SmackDown that appeared on television that don't have a program going right now, Aiden English and Rusev and Lana, Bobby Roode, New Day. That's who you got. That appeared on TV. When it comes to those that did not appear on TV, oh my God, on SmackDown, take your pick. Holy crap. Okay, what I've got here is the list. See all that stuff that's highlighted? Those are performers that were not on TV. This is the list from SmackDown. Here we go. I'm going to take a drink here because I'm going to inhale real quickly and I'm going to read them all. Baron Corbin, Chad Gable, Dolph Ziggler, Epico, Fandango, Connor, Mike Kanellis, Mojo Riley, Primo, Shelton Benjamin, Sin Cara, Ty Dillinger, Tyler Breeze, Victor, and Zack Ryder. Think about this. On SmackDown's roster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 performers were not on their television show. Close to half their roster was not on TV. It was all centered around just 10 people. That's it. 10 to 12. Lots of people were not on that show. Including my lock. So, when it comes to people from SmackDown going to Raw, it's not going to be a lot. Not of any consequence, anyway. But so, I want to go over again who I locked in. And what I mean by lock is these are the 6 predictions that I made for the Superstar Shake-Up. If I get them wrong, I'm doing a shot of Chinese vodka for each one that I get wrong. So, what I've got, I have got Becky Lynch going from SmackDown to Raw. I got Baron Corbin going from SmackDown to Raw. And I also, unfortunately, have... Come on. He's all the way down at the bottom. Belching a ton. Trying to find him. And I, unfortunately, have Shinsuke Nakamura going from SmackDown to Raw. Ugh. He's my iffy. I don't know if that's going to happen. As far as Raw going to SmackDown, my locks. The first one I'm iffy about, Samoa Joe. I don't know if that's going to be happening. Also, got to go all the way up. My other two, and I'm pretty confident about this, Asuka going from Raw to SmackDown. She didn't appear at all on any of the TV. And Big Cass. So those are my 6 locks. Names that I would keep eyes on, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Braun Strowman. Dolph Ziggler is another one. Aiden English, Rusev, and Lana. I'd keep them. I would absolutely keep an eye on them. Epico and Primo? No, not really. No. Other names I'm just going to throw out there that could appear on SmackDown. Kane. Goldust. R-Truth. Going from Raw to SmackDown, maybe? Who knows? What about Fandango and Tyler Breeze? But the Ascension. It would be really good to have Fandango and Tyler Breeze going from SmackDown to Raw to feed to AOP. But apart from that, not much we can really anticipate. I don't think there's going to be as many humongous shakeups or shifts as we think there will be. But again, I will be feeling the consequences if I'm wrong. Oh, my liver and my lungs, and I feel sorry for all of you to have to listen to me buzzing pretty hard after I down them. So, that's the Superstar Shake-Up. That is what to anticipate next week. Now time to have some fun. It's now time to achieve a state of calm after the insanity that happened last week. So last week on the show, I watched the epic monstrous match of the century, of the millennium. It got a constellation of stars when it actually only got 4 3/4 from Meltzer. It was Ricochet versus Will Ospreay from May of 2016. It was a match that Stone Cold Steve Austin and Chris Jericho were just praising to the high heavens, while men of more stable mind like Vader destroyed and said it was shit. And I completely agree. It was complete and utter crap. And so I thought, let's try to make the match of the night again something we can all enjoy. You know, whether it be something nostalgic, whether it be something nonsensical, not something I can get angry about. Okay. This one I think I'm going to have a lot of fun with. What we are about to watch here is from 1993. 2 days before my birthday. Remember that date? I'm not going to tell you. Use deductive logic. 2 days before my birthday on 1993, All Japan Pro Wrestling at the Budokan. It is Stan Hansen versus Kenta Kobashi. I love me some Kobashi, but I don't know a whole lot about Stan Hansen other than JBL just wished he was him. So, nothing to really... I don't think a lot of background is needed for this. I don't think so. This is not for a belt. This is not a title match. This is just beating the crap out of each other. I'm hoping to see some chopping. I'm hoping to see some slugging. Lariato is what I'm hoping. I'm ready for some good old-fashioned beat the shit out of someone, fuck respect stuff. That's what I need right now. So, all right, take a sip. Can is gone. The glass is ready and full. All right. Gonna recline a little bit here. All right. Stan Hansen, Kenta Kobashi, All Japan at the Budokan, 1993. And here we Lariato. Ah, damn it. I don't care. I want to start that over. I got it. まだ小橋は死んでいません。カウント2、いずれも2です。小橋は今年の2月、ダニー・スパイリーを下しました。そして5月にボディを下しました。外人4強のうち2つを下しております。あと残るはウィリアムズ、そしてハンセンのみ。Oh, don't begin to do a chop fest. そして今日、ハンセンに9打目のチャレンジ。小橋健太、張られても立ち上がっていく。うつ伏せに倒れた。さあ、ハンセン、体勢を返した。カバーに入る。カウントは2。で、ギロチン。小橋、いいぞ。もう一発。さらにもう一発か。ロープが反応を見ました。Go for the cover. なおも攻めるか。小橋健太。Oh, he's going to go up to the top to do it. 青コーナー。コーナーの上。ギロチン。超ド級の落下。Wow. 見事に炸裂。Taking a long time to get him to turn. チャンス。抑え込みたい。Man, I'm glad I returned to, I guess a return to normalcy, maybe? But just a return to having fun, you know? No more flippy-dippy stuff. No more tremendously choreographed stuff. Yes, the wrestling is choreographed and everything, but damn it, not so over-choreographed, okay? It's just fun, stupid stuff, you know? I gotta find me some of that, more of that All Japan goodness, some Noah goodness. And also, I will bring up, so I mentioned again, I've dabbled a lot into Japanese death matches. And I know that the match of the night is always something that a match that I watched that I've never watched before. But maybe if I played a match that I watched that you guys have never seen, maybe I'd do that and show you the kind of weird crap that I used to watch when I was in a Cheeto Muncher phase. Yeah, I could do that. Maybe I'll bring it up. Maybe I'll do 2 matches in one night. maybe I do a match that I've seen and then a match I haven't seen. Yeah. I mean, I've seen some, like, there's some matches that I saw that kind of, I don't want to say traumatized me, but really opened my eyes to how stupid this pro wrestling stuff can be. And when it's not pro wrestling, it's just bloodletting. And it's just for the sake of shock value. And also when it's, you learn how workers work. You know? But that's going to be the show for today. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you so much for the follow from DJ. I really appreciate it. Once again, get to 100. Tell everyone, tell your other friends that we're streaming on Twitch and doing this really cool show where we're watching matches, going over the news. You guys chime in on the comments. We have a nice little discussion about it and just have a little bit of fun and not take everything so seriously. Also, I really hope you all again had a great time with WrestleMania. I hope you enjoyed it, that you weren't too angry about it, that you tried not to be too patronizing or condescending, and tried to put yourself on a pedestal and put others beneath you to say that you know everything about wrestling and it could have been something different when you just could have sat back and enjoyed the damn thing. Don't be a snob when it comes to pro wrestling. Get as many people as you can to like it. Believe me, you'll enjoy it a lot more when you have a lot more friends that are physically with you to enjoy it with, instead of just, on the computer. I like you guys, don't get me wrong, but it's a lot better when you enjoy wrestling in the company of others. So, who knows? Maybe I get more people to join me to watch Wrestle Kingdom 12. God, if I could force my girlfriend to watch it, that would be something. No. She would not do that. That would be the end of us. Can't do that. Anyway, that'll do it for the show. I'm Doug Lackey. I will catch you all next week reviewing the news, reviewing the SmackDown and the Raw, going over the injuries, some discussion here and there, and a match of the night of some kind. Just keep an eye on the Twitter and the Faces books. And I'll catch you then. Laters.